Quick question, do you really understand the message of the kingdom? So today we're starting a new series on the parable of the sower found in Matthew chapter 13. And in this parable, Jesus uses the example of somebody who scattered some seeds and they landed in four different types of places. Spoiler alert, the seeds represent the gospel message of the kingdom, and the four different places that the seeds landed represent the different types of outcomes that can happen when somebody hears the message of the kingdom. So in this video, we'll be focusing on the seeds that landed on the path, where the birds eventually came and ate them up. And you can find this in verse 4 and further explained by Jesus in verse 19 of Matthew chapter 13. I'll quickly read verse 19 then highlight a few key points. Verse 19 says, "When anyone hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what has been sown in his heart. This is what was sown along the path." So first up, some of us find it really hard to admit when we don't really understand what's being taught. You might be worried about looking like a fool, or even be overwhelmed by what other people might think of you if you put your hand up to say that you don't really understand. Because you might be the one that others are looking to as the Christian example. And so the pressure of losing your reputation might be what's keeping you from getting real with yourself. Because this is the thing, we can fake it all we want. We can pray the loudest and maybe even preach up a storm that gets people keen to want to know Christ. But if we haven't taken the time to assess if we really understand the message of the kingdom, it will be loud and empty noise that will eventually crumble. Why? Because the enemy goes around like a roaring lion, looking for anyone he can chew up and tear to shreds. It's no joke and it's no exaggeration. Satan is literally on the hunt for people that he can puff up and pick off. So he'll happily entertain the idea of you running among other Christians, maybe even be happy for you to gain a reputation and a following, maybe even a leadership position. But if you don't have a real understanding of the gospel message of the kingdom, he'll be waiting for the perfect moment to strike and take you out and as many other people he can in the process. Because you see, Satan is waiting to snatch away what we think we understand and know about the gospel. And if we've not done the groundwork to really be sure about our understanding of the message, then time will be the only thing that stands between now and the moment when we eventually fall away. So bro, sis, it's time for some real self-talk. Here's a few questions for you to reflect on. Number one, what is the gospel message of the kingdom? Now don't just rush off into reciting what you've heard or maybe even said for years, but take a few moments to really think this through. What is the gospel message of the kingdom? Number two, do I really understand the gospel message personally? And I'm not talking about just head knowledge or information that you can regurgitate, but I'm talking about, do I have a revelation from God on this message that makes it alive and something that I'm totally sold out for? And number three, what steps can I take to really reinforce my understanding of the gospel message? Now don't let this just be another video that you watch and walk away from with no change. Really sit with these questions and ask God to give you insights into them too. Then choose to set up your defense against Satan's plans now so that you don't become an easy target. Do you really understand the message of the kingdom? Peace.